Hello, this is Jim Pellegrino, your host for the hour. Welcome back to the show. In this segment, our guest is Bob Mesite, who holds the master franchise for Sonic in Connecticut. And you know what? There may be a lot of people in the viewing audience who know Bob or certainly know the Mesite family. Bob is currently the owner, operator, and operations manager of Sonic of Connecticut with his brothers Ralph and Mark and his sister Gina. But currently, still, among the Mesite family businesses are the Villa Capri in Wallingford.
That's right.
Lots and lots of people go to the Villa Capri. But also Bob the Yankee Silversmith. Unfortunately, in both cases, the Villa Capri burned down.
No, the Yankee Silversmith.
The Yankee Silversmith went down to the ground, and you couldn't bring it back. I mean, it was just gone.
It's a shame. No.
So the next thing I know, my good friend Bob Mesite, I see in the paper, there it is. You're standing there with the Yukon Husky, and you got the master franchise, you and the family, for Sonic of Connecticut.
Right.
But before we get into Sonic of Connecticut, Bob, give us an overview of Sonic nationally.
Well, Sonic has been around since 1953. And what it is, it's a drive-in restaurant, something like what the A&W's drive-in restaurants were. And what it is, it has about 3,900 units. It primarily was based out of Texas and Oklahoma City and found its way around the country. And the last place it found its way around the country was in the Northeast. Okay, when the Yankee Silversmith actually met its demise, what I decided to do is we need to expand this family. We have children and wanted to go forward. So being that the Sonic was the #4 franchise in the country for the last 3 years in a row, which this is over anything, not just fast food, over anything, I decided to look into it. In May of 2008, I started looking into it. At that point, I tried to fight for the rights to the state of Connecticut. It was a very long, grueling process because these are very popular quick-serve restaurants. And what I did was make sure that we went there, we fought for them. Thanks to our restaurant background, we were awarded them in June of 2009, and here we are today.
You know, Bob, I looked at my compliments on your website, by the way. It's a very novel website.
Thank you.
And I looked at the franchising rights and all that stuff, and I'll tell you what, Sonic is very fussy. I mean, they vet the franchisee very carefully. And you know, I was looking at the map, and you are all over the United States of America. It started in Oklahoma.
Right.
It's been around for about 50 years, was never in Connecticut before Bob Mesite and family.
Correct.
But Texas, I mean, the Longhorns, they got like about 600, 700, 800 of them down there.
There's 824 of them there, and the people there know Sonic more than your most popular QSR restaurant, either a McDonald's or Burger King, because there's more there. And the people who have migrated from Texas to here,
they go around looking for them.
They look around, and then when we opened one up, they were in tears. Some of these people, as I said, because you brought a piece of my home to me. That's what this meant to them. It's unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you, some of the people would have to be in tears because I went down there after you first opened up, Bob. And I mean, when your first month, I mean, sometimes it took like an hour and a half to get into the restaurant.
It was actually more like 2.5. About 2.5 hours. Actually, sometimes on Friday nights and Saturday nights, we have an hour wait still. This is for almost 4 months out. Okay,
so tell us about the Wallingford franchise location. This is your first one in Connecticut now, right?
Right.
Give us the scope and size of that.
Well, the one in Wallingford is obviously central Connecticut. This was an easy fit for us. We already own the land. Wallingford, you know, obviously being in there for 50 years, which this year we celebrate the Villa Capri's 50th anniversary. But we already had a natural fit there. We also had some more on the table as well. Manchester, Milford Orange, things like that. But we wanted to start in our hometown, okay, close by. And so that was a perfect fit for us on the most northern part of the old Yankee Silversmith property.
Now, how many, because when I drove up there for the first time, I had forgotten, even though I'd read the article, that you have people on roller skates coming to the, for want of a better word, the stations, right?
Yes.
How many stations are there, and what else can you do at that particular location?
Sonic is very unique. We have 21 stalls, okay, plus we have drive-through, plus we have a patio. So we can actually hold 21 cars at a time. The average length is 12 to 15 minutes, and then we keep, you know, recirculating. Yeah. We have car hops that actually not only bring the food to you, they will also take the garbage from you, and they keep checking on you. Our stalls are most people's dining rooms. So that's how we look at it. We keep it the same way. They order from there, where they're served there, and they're taken care of at
And you
that
have
point.
2 drive-ins there? There one or 2?
Well, there's one drive-in there, and we have 2 sets of stalls. Okay,
Oh, okay, right.
7 on one side and
Right.
we have 14 on the other. They're nice spread out, and of course we have in Sonic's franchise, we're only one of 2 that has actually a heated patio that's enclosed in glass.
I saw that patio, right?
Yes, and it's a very unique concept. Sonic is the only one that has it. Like I said, we're the second one to have it in the country.
So is Sonic, I mean, here we are in the beautiful Northeast. It's
Yeah.
beautiful today, Bob, but
Yeah.
it gets pretty ugly sometimes during the wintertime. Are Sonic franchises in the Northeast, to the extent that they're here, are they seasonally driven, or you don't
No.
see much of that?
This is year-round. Okay, there are Sonic franchises in Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Oh, well,
I mean, where they measure things in feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, we skate all year round as long as it's as long as it's safe to skate. Well, we don't use sand or salt or anything like that on our roadways. And our car hops love skating in the winter. Okay, they're dressed up. We have special Sonic uniforms and things like that for
I
them.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and
pretty
it's-
athletic young men and women there,
Oh,
too. Yeah.
some of these people can do backflips. I mean, they are great. See, everybody could be a good skater, but when you put a tray with 2 of what we call our Route 44s in there, which are about a quart of liquid, that's when you know it separates the men and the boys and the ladies and the women, because then you know if you can really skate.
Yeah.
So.
Tell us about the locations in terms of if it were 2 years from now, Bob, right?
Yeah.
And you opened all 8, where are those 8?
Well,
I know
what
you're
we-
going to Manchester next.
Correct. Well, we have done is a strategic plan through the state of Connecticut, and my broker and friend Lou Proto has strategically put these out along with assistance from Sonic Corporate. Manchester, Connecticut is all approved, ready to go. We're waiting on building permits right now. That can be done any time. Sometimes it's a slow process because the town wants to make sure it's fine. Our next spot is going to go, that's north. Now we're going to go south. The southern part is going to be in Orange, Milford area, more likely Orange. And then from that point, we have ones 30 miles apart, and then we'll start going east and west, Waterbury, Middletown, things like that. So that's our plan. And then I would say we have a 5-year plan to build 8 Sonics, but we can build up to 15 right away. We do have the rights.
Oh,
to the
you
state.
can?
Oh, sure. We can build 15. This state can hold, I believe, about 32, I think was the last count, Sonics.
Oh, I misunderstood, Bob. I thought when you and I initially talked that the master franchise was for 8.
That's a minimum of 8.
Oh.
That means I need to put 8 to have these rights. I need to put 8 up, which is no problem at all. I can put 10 up just with the blink of an eye. It's just everybody's unfortunately is a little impatient waiting for these to come.
It's a good thing the Massey family's got some deep pockets.
Yeah,
there.
well, you know, it's a
Looking
little
at
tough. Yeah,
looking at that franchise requirements
yeah,
there.
there are some steep hurdles to overcome
Yeah.
for people financially, both experience-wise, and you know, out of all the people who apply for a Sonic, less than 50% are awarded a Sonic. Okay, especially the rights to one specific state, like we were. We had to fight for that.
Yeah, well, I noticed that there were financial requirements in the vetting process, but there's also background and experience qualifications in the restaurant business, et cetera, which you and your family certainly have had.
Yes, thank
so, I mean, you did a lot of research on them. You've been open since July, I think.
Yes.
Wallingford opened in July. So we're talking July, August, September, October, November. We're talking about 5 months,
Yes.
Bob. What, in your opinion, I mean, having studied it and now practicing it, makes Sonic so successful? I mean, you said we're talking like 3,800 places throughout the United States of America, right? What makes Sonic successful?
Well, our motto is Sonic's got it, others don't. And what we do is obviously we have our car hops. Our food is made fresh to order. We don't keep anything. We don't have a microwave in the place. When an order comes in, it starts being made right there, and by the time you have it, that's unique. We have unique foods like the foot-long conies. We have 37% of our business is ice cream and drinks.